What's good? Mad Pill Live. Hit the like button, hit the notifications, but most of all, subscribe. We are about to jump right into this. We ain't gonna waste no time. Oops.
They don't say nothing I can agree with. Okay. He was the weird guy in the beginning with the pink sweaters when we met him. Like, what do you think moving to a beat of your own drum? This dude started a church and kept cussing. Nobody in black church said nothing. You would have thought all the pastors would have came. You can't be no gospel artist. You just said fuck that bitch. Nobody said nothing because TD over there with PDiddy. Like,
come on, Katt.
Only the guy you had here has been upfront and honest and a man of God and humble and took the L's he had to take and didn't. He don't play hockey. I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do.
Now, y'all, as y'all know, Katt Williams said a lot. He said a lot about a whole lot of people. But we focusing on one thing, a few people that he didn't mention. We'll get to the rest of the people later. But the few people he didn't mention was TD Jakes and P. Diddy. Right? Let me rewind this back.
What do you think moving to a beat of your own drum? This dude started a church and kept cussing. Nobody in black church said nothing. You would have thought all the pastors would have came. You can't be no gospel artist. You just said fuck that bitch. Nobody said nothing because TD over there with PDiddy. Like,
come on, Katt.
Only the guy you.
Woo. Yes. Right. And a whole lot of more people. Not only, we continuing it after post TD Jakes, and Katt Williams just brought it up again, and TD Jakes is, hold on, let me. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Excuse me. Oh, let me fix something real fast. That's messing me up. Oh. I didn't went head on right into this live, trying to get right into it, but I don't have all my stuff together. Excuse me. Pardon me, y'all. Hold up. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me make sure excuse me, y'all. All right. All right. So he went in on TD Jakes as well as the dress up community. The black men who wears dresses, right? To get on in the community. I mean, in the what I'm talking. Excuse me. To get on in the industry. To get on in the industry, you got to wear a dress. And I'm gonna let him expound a little bit more. And look, and this has a lot to do with TD Jakes. He was hanging around with Tyler Perry, having Tyler Perry lay hands on him. Right? When you are a hypocrite at the word that you preach. In the word that you preach against the homosexual type of behavior. That's him preaching against that. But you're a hypocrite when you let somebody impersonate a woman. Like Tyler Perry, and everybody's saying Tyler Perry could have hired many of black women to play that role, but he chose to play the role of a black woman. And a lot of people fell for it. Like, is Medea being some type of inspirational character or whatever. So, and you know what? These are the things that Tyler Perry himself was against. So why do you have to dressing up? And what behind the dress up, y'all? What behind the dress up that that they have to do in Hollywood or in order to get certain roles? Was TD Jakes part of that initiation, right? And I don't put it past him, allegedly. Like, no, yeah, okay, y'all, this is alleged. I'm gonna say a whole lot of stuff. I'm gonna say a whole lot of hold on, my bad. Let me get back to the Katt Williams. I'm gonna say a whole lot of stuff, but this is alleged. Alleged, y'all. So the initiation phase with TD Jakes in Tyler Perry in cahoots, and many more Hollywood men who did take that role of wearing a dress. Now, let me go back. Let's go. Let's go here. Is it the video when Katt Williams? Hold on. Let me see. Nope. All right, let's go back to this one. This is when Martin. Let me let Katt Williams go.
You want me to get in a dress? Martin tried to put me in my first dress. Where this want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now. We can be playing a dog catcher this time. Why do we need to be in a dress? And I get so mad, I say, you don't want me. You want Brandon T. Jackson. And that's who they want.
To dress, right? See, would get these young men, right, to become their sex slaves or whatever. This what P. Diddy do, allegedly. Then this what P. Diddy do. You know what? P. Diddy is known to like men, right? He known to like men. Tyler Perry and Martin, they showed Will Smith. And what shocked me was Dave Chappelle. Hold on, let me go back. Let me get Dave Chappelle, man. My brother sent me this video. I'm like, oh Lord. Oh Lord, Lord. Now this is Dave Chappelle in dressed as a woman.
Hey, what are you guys laughing at so much? I think I paid them too much, jerks. All right, let's play a new video of Baba Boomie's Banana. Okay, what do you think of it?
Well, Howard,
Hey, Robin, what's the matter with you? You have a cold?
as a matter of fact, I do.
Really? Probably a chest cold. Hey, Robin, you taking temperature?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just stick the thermometer.
Wow. Howard Stern, y'all know how bad Howard Stern is. He's just a freaking mess. Look, Dave Chappelle. Hold on, let's go to. Let's type up Dave Chappelle. He was on Oprah. Oh, man, let's do this together. I didn't even know I was gonna get on this. That's why I'm typing this up. Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. One being in the chess. Wasn't that on Oprah? I think it was. Let's go here. There we go. Let me transfer y'all to that. Just play it from there.
To be true to yourself, especially when everybody's watching.
Yes. Yes.
Show business has to do with compromise and wearing the mask. You know, when they say black folks, we wear that mask. You walk in that boardroom, it's not you don't walk in the boardroom like, what's popping, baby? You know, you gotta put that mask on, and you know, it's like we're bilingual. We speak job interview and we speak around each other. You know what I'm saying?
Did you feel like a sellout?
I felt like they got me and touched my inner coon. They stirred them up.
Really?
When we was doing that sketch and that guy laughed, I felt like, man, I felt like they got me. They got me. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress? This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? Is a prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. And I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. Am I Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh, gosh, it's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why are they putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. That comes back 10 minutes later. The whole new scene. Damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you got to take a stand.
He didn't. If you have, yeah. Before we play that, he didn't take a stand. So Dave Chappelle is contradicting. Now you see in this video that he wore the dress. Hold on, where that damn video at? There we go. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to curse. If somebody cursed, that's them cursing. I'm sorry. I didn't curse on this video. So now we got him with Howard Stern. Howard Stern and Dave Chappelle in the dress with makeup on. I mean,
Skull?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Really? That's probably a chest skull. Hey, Rob, you take a temperature?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just stick the thermometer.
see, and these are the hypocrites of the industry. in that clip with Oprah, he didn't. He was like he was anti, but with him right here with Al Howard Stern, yeah, he's into it. He got big boobs, you know. He got makeup on, you know. He planned to be in a dress. Let's just put it to you like that, and you can't hide that. In the industry, like I said about TD Jakes. TD Jakes like his men with dresses on, like masculine men with dresses on. Allegedly. I'm just telling y'all the story. Don't knock me for this. Because TD Jakes is toxic. Okay? TD Jakes is toxic and his family is toxic. We're going to get into that in a little bit. I believe TD Jakes is a toxic person. He's full of drama behind the scenes. He like you know, these men that accusing him he had a relationship with. I believe they slashed his ties. I believe that they was, and his wife know all about it. His wife knows everything about the drama that comes with TDJs. Allegedly. I'm saying this allegedly, y'all. And I believe that TD Jakes and Tyler Perry is in cahoots with as well as Martin, Will Smith, all of them. Let me show y'all a little bit with all of them. Right. Let's see. With all of them, I think he's in cahoots with Martin. You know, they turned that boy out. Jamie Foxx as well. You know, Eddie Murphy, all of them, all the top dogs, all of them, all the top dogs. See all these men. Damn, where's Wesley Snipes? Damn, I forgot about him. You know, that's the top Medea. Oh shit, Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why to when you important enough? Let's go back to Kevin Hart. And I believe all these men have been broken into, been busted up from the back. They've been busted up from the back, and I believe, I believe TD Jakes and P Diddy, you know, they've been going to these. This is the connection with TD Jakes, with Kevin Hart, and all the rest of these comedians. They go to the same parties. See, P. Diddy likes to throw extravagant party. And I'm just connecting the dots. I'm connecting the links in between the connection with TD Jakes, Kevin Hart. Let's go back, Martin. Let's get these pictures again. Let's go. You see Martin. It's a connection. They attended P. Diddy's parties. Especially Jamie Foxx, yeah. He's known for being at P. Diddy's party. Eddie Murphy. I mean, yeah. All of them are known for being at Chris Tucker, P. Diddy party. P. Diddy invited them. Wesley Snipes, P. Diddy done been banged that up. They known for being at P. Diddy's party. And the connection between, you know, and I believe all of them got stories that they don't want to tell because they don't get blackballed. Ugh. Wesley Snipes. Medea. It's a connection. And I believe that P. Diddy, during P. Diddy's parties, where TD Jakes was attending, that all of this has went down. TD Jakes has possibly slept with most of the guys in the industry. I'm talking about all these guys y'all look up to, like Kevin Hart, these comedians, Wesley Snipes, Martin, all them. The initiation in how to get, the dark side. The initiation you got when you put on a dress, somehow it boosts your career. And I believe that initiation was through TD Jakes and P. Diddy. They all got they got busted up. They first virgin. It ain't nothing like a virgin. When you have sex with a virgin. It's nothing like it. That's why men are more, sought after than anything in the industry. In the industry, men are more sought out of. In the hierarchy, men are more sought out of. Men get violated the most. It's all coming to pass. It's all unveiling. It is all unveiling. In the hierarchy, what I believe that P. Diddy was using TD Jakes for to initiate these men, right? And like virgins, and men, if they tell, they're gonna get blackballed. Let me show y'all an example. Let me give y'all another example of a blackball. Now, this is how men don't get heard, right? And what did they have him in? A dress. What's the dude played in Big Mama House 2? His name slipped my mind because he don't exist no more. In Big Mama House 2, what happened to him? Now we're gonna get the aftermath of what happened to him. Brandon T. Jackson, right? Yeah, Brandon T. Jackson. Now we're gonna see what happened to him after. Now it's a negative effect.
BC is like BM for me. My career pre-BM.
So Big Mama was a changing point.
Yeah.
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 What made it a changing point? Was it that it was Martin, or just everything was aligning up at the right time for you?
It was a negative changing point, to be honest.
Okay.
Positive in a way where the perception of my image was on every bus, but my personal life was in shambles in that time. It was horrible.
Well, you want to expound on that? What do you mean? Like,
if I was a stand-up at the time, seasoned like I am now, I could tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue. Is like, how are you able to tell your story? The most elegant way, eloquent, saying in an eloquent way. I couldn't say what I was going through because it's almost like if you're a baby, you can't communicate yet. And I just wasn't fully a seasoned stand-up to be able to say what I was going through. But in retrospect, if I can say what I was going through, At the time when I did Big Mamas is when I met not my wife, my daughter's mother, and from that time it's like my life was just, it was hell from there. My personal life was in shambles, but my career, it was at its height, I believe. It was going.
It was kind of like a passing of the torch in a sense.
Yeah, it was. And I played Martin's son, and I feel like that. It's so weird. It's like every time I play these sons of people, it never goes right.
What didn't go right with Big Mamas?
It was, first of all, no offense, that movie wasn't that good to me. It wasn't a prolific film. I sound so mean, like, oh, you should be grateful for, but I'm real. You know, you should be real. Like, it wasn't like the best movie. It was okay. It was an entertaining film. Number one, Big Mama's one. That's arguably like, okay, Miss Doubtfire was out, but the whole dress bit was already overdone. You know, it was like, it was hacky, you know, and I did it purely for the money and the work of Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it for the purity of comedy, but I did it for the purity of work with Martin. But I believe that it was still more than money. Like, dang, I'm gonna get a big check, you know.
Yeah. And knowing you now, and
let me tell y'all something. Part of the reason that he failed in Hollywood is that he got out of shape and big. You know, that's the thing about it. He was slim. In Lottery Ticket, he was, look at him. Just look at the picture of him in Lottery Ticket. Right? He was in shape. Even in Big Mama House 2, he was in shape. You know, he got lazy and he got out of shape. That's a lot of the thing. The men ain't gonna like you no more. There's no use to you. They don't want no fat, out of shape dude. They want the top of the line dudes in Hollywood to mess with. Let it go.
to kind of set this question up, but in knowing you now, there's a more of an awakened Brandon compared to when he first came into the business. You mentioned the dress. There's a big conversation about that. Did you get like slack when you wore the dress at that moment?
It was like, wasn't slack from people. Only Katt Williams. Katt Williams was trying to always say, Brandon, don't wear a dress.
He called you, or is this?
No, he was saying it in the media, so I thought he was heckling me. He was really trying to help me at the time. I didn't know that. I was immature.
Right.
I feel like, dang, why I'm trying to make it. Why you bashing me? And then he was trying to warn me, don't get in the dress. So the awakened Brandon, you couldn't pay him $1 trillion to get in the dress.
Yeah. Was there like, how did they present that? Well, you knew right away you had to get in the dress.
I did the scene on Lottery Ticket.
Okay.
That scene on Lottery Ticket. After that, they were pushing his dress on me. It was something about that scene that touched a lot of people, and I think I was too real. I think they did the same thing like to Tupac. When you too real, they start looking at you like, hold on, how'd this slip past us? Who's this guy? You know what I mean? And then it's like, you know what? Yeah, he might be a kid. Just put him in a dress.
What do you think the dress is about? Is it to tone us down, to tone that realness down?
I think the dress, personally, is a thing that was not in our culture to do.
It's an initiation by the Hollywood. It's initiation in which you go to the next level. It's also the rich fantasy, right? They fantasize in a black man in a dress. They get some type of sexual satisfaction off of that, off a black man in a dress. They in their own sick minds. They love to see black men, and most of the black men in a dress, were the Hollywood image. So, the Martin Lawrences and the Will Smiths and any powerful black man, they want to take and put them in a dress, and that's a fetish to those sick-minded Hollywood executives. They got sick fetishes.
And I think everybody will want to put their culture on us. No, not to hate your culture or your God.
Mm-hmm.
If your God say you can put on a dress and your culture is normal for you, that you have the right as a human to choose that. But me, for my God and my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was cursed by it. I believe it was a curse that went with that personally, because nothing went right since then. That's truthful. No one can tell me, hey, man, you thinking too much, man. You sit down, man. Everything went wrong. Just like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. I'm telling you, I lived it.
Yeah. Is there any like
even with Martin, things went wrong when he did it too. Because Martin is very anointed. Martin is a very strong man. And Dave Chappelle said that too. He says things about that too. And something, if you look at Martin's Arsenio Hall interviews, you look at him now, something's changed. You know?
Yeah, well, Martin, I noticed that too.
It's not a shot, but something's changed.
No, he definitely had like a lot of fire behind a lot of energy. He's got similar to me. He's gotten older, but I don't think he's gotten that old.
Eddie Murphy's old. He still has a fire to him too. I don't think it's an age thing. Yeah. I mean, my dad has a fire. He's almost.
You think maybe it was more of the business that kind of it took so much out of him?
Honestly, I think it's a spiritual thing, but everyone has their own journey. Mm-hmm. I can't say what it is. I don't know. I think, for me, I can only speak for my journey. Once I put the dress on and I had that fire was put out.
Yeah. And
I only did it one time. So imagine doing it 3 times, 4 times. But then Tyler Perry did it. He got stronger. I don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened to me. I'm not here to knock another brother because that's their path.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't do is knock my brothers.
See, one thing, you ain't Tyler Perry. See, it's the thing, you can't compare yourself to Tyler Perry. One or Brandon T. Jackson. I know you're telling the truth now. I had to knock you on that one. You can't, see, you have to take full responsibility in putting on the dress yourself and be like, that was my bad. I shouldn't have did that. Take accountability for what you did. And you blaming them for you making a decision to put on the dress. Because you was young, dumb, and full of cum. You the one that decided to put on that dress. Y'all men that come out like Dave Chappelle, you all hypocrites because you was the one that decided to put on the dress. Take full accountability of your actions.
Because that's their path. But I'm saying my path, when I put on a dress, it came with a demon baby mama and a starter kit for hell. That's what happened to me. You haven't seen me since, to be honest. But then I feel stronger though.
Would you like warn other stand-up comedians about a dress?
Yeah, I had an interview too where I would do it. I would do it eloquently and say I wouldn't wear the dress if you're chosen. Some people can wear the dress; it doesn't affect them. But I don't know. For me, it didn't work. So I can say I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. Just who wants to roll that dice?
Yeah, and as you look back on it now, you kind of would never.
If I had a time machine, we was with Marty McFly, I would go back, and punch myself in the chest.
See, like I say, look, immoral people. Come on now, Tyrese, talk this woke stuff.
Beyond to promote the devil, and it's pissing me off. Pissing me off. They going above and beyond to promote the devil, and it's pissing me off.
All of them were red. Did you notice when TD Jakes came out here to address that he's a zesty bottom, a power bottom at that? He wore that same red color.
See, I told y'all this was all connected. I didn't play all that, people putting on a dress in Hollywood. No. This is all connected. This connects to one. Like, Tyrese know what he's doing. Like I blame them. I don't you. Let me woosah. Let me take a little sip because I'm. Let me take this back.
All of them were red. Did you notice when TD Jakes came out here to address that he's a zesty bottom, a power bottom at that? He wore that same red color that you see Mr. Man with the dress wear on red.
Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
Girl, Tyrese Gibson is getting.
See, was this now? Let's see. Tyrese Gibson is. Hold on. Let me get the correct source because I just got sent that video about Tyrese. And the internet is popping about him being a hypocrite and he wearing a dress. Is this like for the Muslim community? Is he? I'm just trying to get that correct. No, but he's wearing that's a dress. Because he's wearing a jacket over it. This is, see, this is all connecting. This is connecting the dots. Like all of this it's starting to make sense. Medea.
He wore that same red color that you see Mr. Man with the dress wear on red.
Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
Girl.
And these men have to do this in the industry. They gotta do this. They gotta do this. And I'm about to share with y'all.
On a license plate of the Lamborghini is it still today since
as I mentioned
2019.
into other videos.
Medicine.
Men are being violated every single day. But they can't mention it. Now, this dude gotta put on a mask, a hoodie, and go undercover and distort his voice. If this was a woman, it would be vice versa. Now, since the industry is so dangerous because they'll kill you in the industry if you come out. It's dangerous. They ain't gonna kill you, ain't gonna shoot you in the head like a gangster, they gonna poison you. And you wonder why certain people just drop dead. Right? This industry will kill you if you are a man, if you come out that they are homosexual. They will kill you for that. Now, this is a model, dude. Like, let me tell y'all something. They like modeling, boy. They love them some models, men's. TDJ love him some model men. He like those tall models, tall, dark skin, bald head. See, Tyler Perry know how to pick them. He pick them, all the tall, model dudes. And I heard from a source that they do some like they auditions be like a strip show. Yeah, it was. They auditions be like a strip show, and they get violated by men. Let me give you this model's sad story. Now, this is sad. This is really sad.
Where Gardens, I've seen myself massive. I've seen myself on Fifth Avenue. Yeah, man, some impressive stuff. The last 10 years of my career, I've got multiple stories of where I've been exploited or had sexual abuse or been lied to or disrespected. And it's led to me sometimes having the worst mental health you could imagine. Yeah, it's been a very difficult road, actually. I've come to realize if you want to make it to the top, you have to sell a part of your soul somewhere. You're going to have to acquiesce somewhere. You may have to get involved in something sexual. It's not what everyone thinks in this industry, trust me.
Sexual, what he talking about is men on men action, right? It ain't nothing like a man who don't like men. That's the greatest version to a sexual predator. See, the sexual predators like TD Jakes and PDiddy, you know, they sexual predators. These sexual predators, they prey on young models like this. I'm gonna let him go for it.
There's a lot of abuse. My first red flag in this industry was my first ever casting. I got told to go to a university in central London, and I turned up. This man said to me, "You're a model now, you need to just be comfortable being naked. You're gonna go to Paris and Milan and New York, you need to be able to dress really quickly." So I got naked, and I was in my boxers, and he said,
"See, being comfortable with being naked.
No, you have to get fully naked. You can hold yourself, but get naked." And so I did. Found out when I went back to my agency that day that no one even knew who that man was. A lot of people think that this industry is super good.
See, they be saving, they be storing them pictures. TD Jakes and P. Diddy, they be storing those pictures. And the rest of those Hollywood executives, the ones that break you in, that bust you in, they got like a library of pictures of young naked boys. And if they were to get busted, it will be, I believe they will serve over 300 years for all of the pictures and videos that they got of young boys. Y'all think R. Kelly, they got R. Kelly on videos, a lot of video. No, they will find in P. Diddy's in TD Jakes category, they will find a library of naked boys.
Glamorous. I can tell you, for someone who's gone to Fashion Week in Milan for many years, we are treated like absolute dogs. We sleep in hostels and in squalor. The agency only respect you if you get that massive job. If you're on set and you mention that you feel uncomfortable, to be honest, you're just that's you finished. You're not going to get the job. I've seen.
Yep, they put you in the dirtiest, grimiest places, like a slave, and they want to see if you're willing to do anything it takes. Like y'all seen when P. Diddy sent those poor people making a band like 10 miles, made them walk hours to get them a cheesecake. This is what they do.
Seen it happen so many times where people just acquiesce and they keep their head down and they just don't stand with their morals. There's a lot that happens as well with like grooming and stuff like that. People like kind of groom you, touch you in certain ways. It's hard for me to even say, man, I hate this stuff. But like, there's been times when I've been in a long casting and the director will come up and like stroke your hair, run their fingers across your elbow, and you know what they're trying to suggest. Do you want this job? Like, let's talk.
Yeah, because you got to be willing to do anything in Hollywood. Look at those movies. of the role. You know, the Joker, right? He died. Heath Ledger playing the Joker. They want to know if you were willing to die, you willing to do anything for the role. That what makes you the best actor. That what makes you the best model, to do the most extreme things that anybody else won't do, because that's what the consumers buy. Extreme. So when you get into Hollywood, these are the things that you have to do, extreme things. Where is you willing to go? That's how you be successful in Hollywood. Wherever you willing to go, what you are be willing to take. Because these companies invest a whole lot of money into you. So they want to know if you willing to do anything, or they going to kick you the hell out. So this is what I put the responsibility on these men, as grown men. This is what I put the responsibility on you. You willing to do anything for the role or anything. And of course, it comes with sexual abuse. I'm not with sexual abuse. I'm an advocate for sexual abuse victims. You have the choice to put on a dress, the initiation phase, what you are willing to do. That's how you make it in Hollywood, the extremes. You have to be willing to die on the set. The most successful Hollywood actors and actress does the most extreme things.
There's a lot of drug abuse. I know the women in Milan, they go crazy on taking the drugs because it literally will keep you slim. If you're like taking a lot of cocaine, you're just going to be slimmer. You don't really have the appetite to eat a lot, and you'll hit them targets. The best after party, or the most insane after party I ever went to, was like a cougar walking around in this mansion, and they had parrots, because this is a wealth that you can't understand. Everything's gold. And just open up a drawer, and there's just like all the marijuana on the top, and then all the cocaine and the ketamine, and all the pills and the ecstasy and the MDMA. In 2019, actually, I was in a big designer's house. It was the most money I've ever seen. It's the most cocaine I've ever seen in my life. The designer handed me like maybe like an ounce of weed, just take this, take this. And yeah, long story short, that night, he kept on just like pressing his body up against me, telling me he wanted me to reveal myself. That's what he kept saying. Reveal yourself, reveal yourself. I actually remember taking a knife from their kitchen, and I had a torch, and I slept like this, like an X on the bed. And I had to put cupboards and fucking sofas and shit in front of the door, because he kept on knocking on the door saying, in the morning, I'm going to wake you up. I'm gonna convince you to reveal yourself. I don't have any money, so it's not like I can just order my own taxi out of this place. I have to wait for them to tell me that I can go. He's never spoke to me since. We were friends, but since that night, because I simply said no, never spoke to me since. And then your career's over, by the way, as well. One word from one of these people, you'll be blacklisted. If you've got a big designer saying don't work with this person, you're finished.
Mm-hmm. Right. If you don't pass the test, if you're not willing to do the extreme, if you ain't willing to sleep with TD Jakes, old fat smelly behind, you are going to get canceled. Like I said, most of the industry men have been ran through. The Eddie Murphys, the Martin Lawrences, the Dave Chappelles. Yeah, now I said it. The Kevin Harts have been ran through. They have been busted up. They have been ran a train on by P. They went to the P. Diddy parties. They've been to like I said, this is how TD Jakes been to P. Diddy parties. So of course he's connected with this. They have been ran through by TD Jakes and Diddy. Like, and it's sad to say that TD Jakes may have been up in your favorite artist, your favorite rapper that you listen to. What if you just found that out?
And it's just a small example of how all you've got to do, man, is just suck that man's dick or have sex with this person here or do something dark, and you'll really fly in this industry really quickly. And after I started speaking out about some of this stuff, so many people started coming to me telling me their experiences. Surprisingly, a lot of men as well. And most people, when they think about the modeling industry,
Like I said, a lot of men, because these are the targets. Men are targets because men won't say nothing and men are threatened. Look at this man. Look at this man. He has to disguise himself and distort his voice and put on all type of stuff to conceal his identity because he can't come out. If he was a woman, it'll be a different story. Women can come out, but men can't. Men can't come out. And I believe this man is not afraid he's afraid for his life. Let me tell y'all something. TD Jakes and them ruthless. They ruthless. I told y'all TD Jakes and Diddy, they ruthless. They got the power to take you out. They don't know how to shoot you. They ain't ghetto like that. They do not have to shoot you. They get you, inject you with something from a dart or something. I don't know what they do. They poison you. They'll find some way to poison you.
they think it's older men abusing women. The most sexual abuse I've had is from someone younger than me when it was a man. It definitely just isn't kind of like the old school idea of like these old men creeping up on these young models. I'd know that say there's just as much abuse on men as there is on women. There's a lot of manipulation and a lot of sad stories in this industry.
Yep. In actuality, there's more abuse on men in the industry than women. There's more abuse on men in the industry than the women. Because why? You can get away with it. Y'all think so many priests. So many priests are undercover and they get exposed later on. But so many priests are undercover because they already know that's if you touch a little boy, which back in the 50s, in the 60s, and the 70s, even in the 80s, you can get away with that. In the 90s, really, you can get away with it because they was against homosexuality. Like homosexuality they was really against homosexuality. And nobody didn't believe a homosexual back then in the day. So that's why they was getting away with men being so many men being sexually abused.
The reason most people are getting away with this sexual abuse and this exploitation is power and money. Simple. They've got so much money, some of these people. You know, some of these people are selling t-shirts for thousands of pounds. So they've got so much money and influence, and everyone drops to their knees like they're some kind of like deity. I believe if I had spoken the way I'm speaking now at the beginning of my career, or I'd like, you know, started to speak up against my agency or the clients or the castings, I would have just been finished. I think a lot of people think that, you know, movements like Me Too have helped the industry and it definitely has allowed people to like view what's going on. But if something like Me Too was genuine, there would be top level designers, photographers in prison right now for what they've done. Power has to come back to the model.
Mm-hmm. Right. It will be top in prison right now. There, like he, let me let him say that again.
In Milan, they go crazy on taking it against my agency or the clients or the castings. I would have just been finished. I think a lot of people think that, you know, movements like Me Too have helped the industry and it definitely has allowed people to like view what's going on. But if something like Me Too was genuine, there would be top level designers, photographers in prison right now for what they've done.
Top photographers in prison right now. Who do y'all think that the top photographers in the world are? Let's Google that. Let's go back up what he said. There will be top. Hold on. I don't even know who's the top photographers in the world. Who is the top I can't spell, y'all. Hold on, let me put y'all on my screen. So let me just know I can't spell. In the world. Just get a list of names. Who's the top photographers in the world? Let's go to this. Digital camera. Let me make sure I'm writing with y'all. What's good, Sierra? What's good, Andrew? Salute. Let's look up the so he said the top photographers in the world would be in jail right now. So let's see who's the top photographer in the world. Okay, Henry Carter Brinson. Now he looked like he could be a little, you know, touch people. That's how I told y'all. He lived from 1908 to 2004. Now he could have been, because back in the day, photographers like, you know, him was hiding. You can hide back in the day. Homosexuality was back in the day. It was like forbidden. So nobody would never believe that you was touching a little boy. That's how these men was getting away. So that put him on blast. I don't even know where. Okay. Henry Carter Brinson from 1908. He's a top photographer in the world to 2004. Like I said, back in the day, you can get away with that because homosexuality was forbidden. Hansel Adams, 1902 to 1984. They be living a long time. Good Lord. It's in the youth. So he said the great. Let me see. So what did he live to? Again, 84. Some of the top photographers in the world. Yeah, they them photographers, like, they nasty. They want to see everything. They some of the dirtiest people in the world, got the dirtiest mind. To be a photographer, you got to be a pervert to be a photographer. A natural photographer is a pervert. Don't let nobody ever tell you that you ain't doing for if you doing photography for models, they got to get naked and all that other type of stuff. You human. You're a pervert. Let's go to it. Oh, shit. Okay. He look like he updated. What's his name? Sebastian. I can't pronounce his name. Y'all see the dang old name. The pervert. It seems like he ain't dead. So he's one of the top photographers in the world. Let's read a little bit about him. Sadago, the dude. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce his name. He is a superstar of modern photojournalism. He is originally studied economics, but took up a career in photography in 1973. His epic skill, black and white work, has particularly focused on the social injustice and poverty. And during the past 45 years, he's carried out a number of major long-term international projects. Oh, yeah. That make it look good. See? Hold up. That's a good point. Most of these dudes would be they will be in jail. But nah, you don't get you don't get kudos for being a man, a victim as a man. You don't get kudos for that. People make fun of you. See, not only when you come out as a man, you're going to get made fun of as well as canceled. So you might as well not even come out in the beginning. And this is what he's saying. This is what he said.
I believe if I had spoken the way I'm speaking now at the beginning of my career, or I'd started to speak up against my agency or the clients or the castings, I would have just been finished. I think a lot of people think that movements like Me Too have helped the industry, and it definitely has allowed people to view what's going on. But if something like Me Too was genuine, there would be top level designers, photographers in prison right now for what they've done. Power has to come back to the model. We have to have the voice to speak out. And if we don't speak out, more people are going to get abused, and more people are going to have their voice silenced by these false leaders in the industry.
Let me tell y'all something. The industry ain't comfortable with men coming out right now. That's why the reason that the whole TD Jakes incident and is coming out so rapidly, because he's a hypocrite, but they're not focused on the young boys who's been violated. Really, they just focus on the comedy aspect that he messing with men, and they want to make fun of him messing with men. That's what they focus on. But the real issue here is he is messing with young boys too as well. He's messing with young boys, and that's these Hollywood executives. Like TD Jakes is willing to play anything for any price. He's willing to pay. Excuse me. He's willing to pay anything to get a hot, fresh little model. TD Jakes is willing to pay just, all those priests, the Vatican, all of them. They willing to pay top dollar for the best boy. They willing to pay top dollar for the best boy. They are willing to pay millions of dollars to feed their fetish. They like young boys. Hold on, let me. Whoa! Oh. Excuse me there for a second. They like young boys. And they willing to do anything. They willing to pay top dollar. Now I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna clip out to how it runs in the family, or how the devil follows you. If you a demon, demons surround you. Birds of a feather flock together. And these are the signs that God was showing us. This was a year ago. This was years ago that this happened. Hold on, let me see when this happened. This is TD Jake's son-in-law. Puts his hands on his daughter. Like, see, this is God. This is how God warns us of what's to come. And like I said, birds of a feather flock together. If there's one cockroach, I guarantee you're going to see hundreds of more.
TD Jake's son-in-law and Cora Jakes Coleman husband of 10 years was arrested and was being held on a $150,000 bond. Well, nothing's changed. He is still in jail being held on a $150,000 bond, accused of the most egregious act, which, again, cannot be said on this platform or any other platform because of the nature of the crime he's accused of. He was first indicted on June 9th, and he's had several requests filed on his behalf before the court. His latest request by his attorney, and yes, he has an attorney, filed a motion requesting a reduction of his bond due to two reasons. One, according to the lawyer, Richard Brandon Coleman, the accused, is being illegally confined and restrained of his liberty by the sheriff of Ellis County while being held in said Ellis County jail. And two, they say that his confinement is not only excessive, but oppressive and beyond his financial means, which is a violation of his 8th and 14th Amendment rights. He has yet to plead guilty or not guilty, but he does have an upcoming court hearing on December 5th. So until then, he remains in the cage where, in my opinion, he belongs for what he's accused of. And when he appears in court, we will see what he has to say on December 5th of this year.
See, now the update on this is like a year ago. So he's been convicted since then. And now he's serving like 38 years for touching and abusing his daughter.
In the meantime, as if nothing has happened, Cora Jakes celebrated her birthday requesting funds via.
And like I said, birds of a feather flock together. I don't care if it was his son-in-law. His son got caught beating his whacker in a park because he thought he hired a prostitute, a male prostitute. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. Excuse me. Let me find this video. Or was that my... Like what the young man said, a lot of young boys, well, a lot of executives, Hollywood executives will be in jail right now. A lot of the top model, they will be in jail right now. And he had to be in a mask because they would kill him. No, they ain't playing with him. Hollywood, they dangerous. Hollywood, if you tell on them, they will kill you. Like you don't even know what you're gonna die. That's the craziest, that's the worst way to die. Like it ain't gonna be from no bullets. You ain't gotta worry about some cop pulling up like in the hood and shooting you up. No. You don't even, because they like 10 steps ahead of you. They can poison your lunch meat from the deli market for oh shit. Oh. When you buy it, like they can, oh man, they can do anything. Like they clever with it. The technology, they kill you with technology. They don't kill you with guns. That's why a whole lot of victims is so afraid to come forward. Because TD Jakes, he got enough money to kill you with technology. I mean, they ain't just gonna kill you on a regular basis. They just not gonna kill you regular. They are going to kill you cleverly. Without leaving a trace. See, these drugs that you go to a mediocre doctor or whatever, you go healthcare, whatever, they're not going to be able to detect the type of drug, the advanced drug that you can buy. You can buy a drug for $1 million and it's selling on the market to kill people, and people die every single day. Hollywood got $1 million drug they can buy to kill you, untraceable drug. If you don't know this stuff exists, you better do your homework. That's why it is so dangerous to tell if you got sexually abused before. It's so dangerous for a man because a man can take a woman, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day when it's so traditional, like being called a homosexual tainted and destroyed your career. Men have bounced back for sexual abuse from women, but you can't bounce back abuse from men. That's why so many men are afraid to come out. That's why this man had to wear a mask when he came out. What that show? He had to wear a mask. He couldn't just come out. Nah. The industry. Let's go back. Oops. Now, hold up. It's one more video that I'm gonna play. It ain't that one. Let's see if it's this one. Nope, it ain't that one. Let's see if this. One more video I want to show y'all before I get up out of chat. There we go. And I'm gonna do the finishing touches on TD Jakes. You know. There we go. Now, I'm gonna play a video from a former member of TD Jakes' church. And she's gonna accuse. I'm gonna just let this ride.
That has experienced victimization, whether it's emotional, physical, psychological, verbal. No one has the right to tell you how you should tell your story, when you should tell your story, the ways you should go about telling your story. This type of toxic church culture would try to imbue this.
Notice what he said, the toxic church culture. Have y'all ever thought about church being toxic? Like mega churches? It's the churches are toxic. It's a toxic church culture. I mean, let me show y'all before. Let me get into this. Let me show y'all how toxic the church is. Right? Let me show y'all how toxic the church is.
In church? Amen. What's the matter with you? God, I wish I had some young people up here with me who would just help me walk it out. Y'all, some of y'all kind of old, but you remember that. I need somebody to get up and just walk it out real quick. Just walk it out, walk it out. Y'all. We got a DJ in the building. How can that trash come in church? Yeah. DJ in the building. This thing about to turn up real quick.
See, this is why the church is toxic. This is why. This is what you mean by toxic church culture, because they allow the world, the toxic stuff from the world in. Look at this.
So the music industry has become a convenient tool loaded with the spirit of Satan.
That's right.
That's right. And now you church folk, you are satanic lovers.
Yeah.
Because the same music is right in your church.
Yeah.
That's why you find church folk now.
Oh, toxic. That's what he mean by toxic.
Church folk.
That's right.
You move like the world. You act like the world. You sing like the world. You dance like the world. You talk like the world.
That's right.
Which shows you're not a new creature.
Not a new creature.
I need you to get up, put your arms around your neighbor. Get up, put your arms.
No, I think that's endorsing a little, being a little loose there. He been a little loose. Like that's what he mean by toxic behavior from the church. Let me go back. The church is toxic. TD Jakes is toxic, and his family toxic too. Like, y'all think these preachers' families is perfect. These they got the most toxic families doing the most toxic things and behaviors. They're the most liars. They're the most cheaters. And they claim that they can use the excuse for coming from a good home.
You tell your story.
Oops.
Story. When you should tell your story, the ways you should go about telling your story. This type of toxic church culture would try to imbue this or put this on you. The beautiful thing of it all is that it's your story. And you have.
And the thing, what he really saying is TD Jakes was toxic. That's what he's saying. I'm just breaking it all on down. The toxic church that he was talking about was TD Jakes' church. It was very toxic. It was a whole lot of toxic behavior that was going on between his family, the deacons in the church, the organ players, the ushers, the janitors, everybody. It was a toxic scene. It was like any other work environment. It was a whole lot of toxic behavior that people think that just because it's a mega church that everything is going right. No, heck no. It was a whole toxic environment. It was a toxic scene, just like the club and every other place. It was very, very toxic. And I believe that some of the members, a lot of the members know that TD Jakes was toxic. But they stood behind their leader. This is what he's saying. I ain't saying this. Hold on. I ain't saying this. This is what he's saying. Y'all gotta listen to him. He's saying it was toxic. I'm just going after what he's saying. So this man is saying that the church of TD Jakes' church, we ain't talking about all churches. We talking about TD Jakes' church. He's saying that TD Jakes' church is toxic. And it's a whole lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And I don't have no doubt that TD Jakes was getting his windows bust out by the dudes that he was messing with. I think that TD Jakes was messing with these boys, leading them on, telling them what they want to hear, promising to have a future with them. And when he lied, when he got found out to be a liar, they busted his windows, they threatened his wife, his kids, they slashed his tires. They did all type of stuff to TD Jakes when they found out he was a liar, and when they found out he was cheating. See, not only that TD Jakes is a liar, he's a cheater because he was cheating on these boys. TD Jakes was cheating on these men, telling them what they want to hear.
Have the right to tell it, to speak it, the ways that you're ready to say it. This is all part of the healing process.
Hey, everybody. So I just wanted to talk. I needed to get this off of my chest. And it's about Bishop T.D. Jakes. First of all, I wanted to say that at one time I belonged to the Potter's House. I was a member of the Potter's House. I have gone to several of his ILS conferences, pastors and leadership conferences. And, more than that, I have been listening to him on television. I've called him my mentor. He is the comedian of all comedians as far as I'm concerned. I loved his personality. I was one of his biggest fans. I met him in person. I don't know if he remembers, but I was at a restaurant and I actually gave him a copy of my play and my book. But anyways, I was a big T.D. Jakes fan. And when I say was, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be anymore. And it's not so much because of what I think he did, even though what I heard that he allegedly did was horrific. But all have fallen short of the glory of God. He was supposed to be living by a higher standard. So I did expect more of him. But for me, the bottom line is how he handled it. Somebody told me a long time ago, it's not what you do, it's how you handle it. And I would have expected so much more of him than that.
So she was disappointed in TD Jakes for how he handled the situation. So she called him a bitch. For how he handled it. Like he wasn't strong when he handled it. He appears. See, the women, y'all have great discernment, and y'all know the real. Y'all know whether you're a lie. Y'all can tell a liar straight out the gate. And that's what a lot of people did. Like, was like, dang, he handled it the way he handled it. Like, it was like he was lying. He didn't want to really address it.
I saw him change from a strong man to a wimp. Right before my eyes, I saw him become a wimp. He didn't admit to any wrongdoing.
he knew he was at the Diddy parties. That was not right. He wouldn't get up.
And that's right. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. Hold on. Let's get her down to Marco. Like, he didn't admit to not being at the Diddy party. She got a point there. He didn't admit nothing. Like, he
on the stage and tell his whole congregation that he goes to Diddy parties. He knows he was hiding that fact. But when he was found out, he didn't say anything about it. And, you know, he was so vague and defensive, and he just seems so weak to me.
right. I mean, I discerned the same thing. When he made that speech, he just vulnerable and weak, and I am the victim, and all this other blah. It was the same thing. Luckily, I didn't love TD Jakes like she loved him. But at the same time, you know, I feel her pain. You know, you've been lied to by a false prophet. And this is the thing about when prophets lie, when powerful preachers lie, you know, that's a detriment to your life. Some people commit suicide to that. And it's a lot of preachers and ministers just won't admit to that. Or society won't admit that a lot of people died behind Eddie Long, committed suicide because they thought that he was a real minister. It's a lot of elderly people that he healed, that he helped through a lot of stuff, believed in him, and they've died as a result because they was heartbroken because when they found out the truth. Spiritual leaders are the most influential people in the world. To be deceived by them is detriment to your mental health and your physical health, your family values, because at the same time, this man was talking to boys all along. He was smashing boys, and he was abusing them. At the same time, having a relationship with him. When he got a wife, you adulterer.
I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I know I'm stronger than that. Now, I like to get my groove on. I really do. Okay, I'm a Christian. I'm a doctor of Christian counseling. I'm an author of books. I have written Christian plays, but I like to get my groove on, and not to the point where I'm twerking and turning my behind up so you can see what I might look like in bed or know how to move in bed, and not to that degree, but to the degree that I like to express myself through dance. And I love some secular songs. I really, 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 really do. But when Friday night and Saturday night come, I don't think about seeing myself at anybody's party. Not a child's birthday party, not the local Elks Club. I don't think about it, let alone a Diddy party. Or
right. Exactly. A Diddy party.
Anything similar. I think about what I'm going to wear to church the next day. And so if that's what's on my mind, then I would think, that he's sitting around somewhere studying for his sermons and not being at no Diddy party. And so, Rita, I hate to say it, but something ain't right with you either, because and your whole family just standing up there backing him up. Some of y'all know that what he's doing is wrong, and I don't know to what degree it's wrong. I don't know to what degree, but my discernment, I don't need anything proven to me, because my discernment tells me about how you were looking up on that stage on New Year's Eve in your red suit, how weak and defensive you were.
Weak. I mean, the red suit. And on New Year's Eve, right around Christmas, you know, that's symbolism, or you know, there's a lot of symbolism that these major ministers use as well to sell their souls. Like, do y'all think that TD Jakes have not got his butt busted in? Now, I'm just using that as, you know, being PG, because this is a rated PG show. I have a little bit of curse in here, but TD Jakes, y'all don't think that TD Jakes haven't had his butt busted in? Y'all don't think that TD Jakes ain't a victim of being a butt buster? Now let me tell y'all. Let me show y'all what butt busting is, man. When I say butt busting of the black man. And slave. Buck breaking. I call it buck bust. It's called buck breaking. What was buck breaking? Buck breaking. This is what TD Jakes is doing. Buck breaking. Let's go of the definition of buck breaking. Is y'all with me on here? Buck breaking. Oh, excuse me. I'm looking up the definition of buck breaking. Let's go to the definition of buck breaking. All right. Buck breaking. We all in this together. Let me take myself off the screen so we can get the definition of buck breaking. Buck breaking is how black men make it in a dress in the industry. Now, this definition of buck breaking, it was the worst embarrassment for black slavery. Now, buck breaking occurred when American slave masters grew angry about African male slaves being defiant. As a result, the slave masters used flogging and male-on-male rape. Our word, excuse me if I say that word. I can't say that word. To discipline and emasculate the slave in front of a family and the slave community in which he was a part of. Essentially, the male slave would be focused to lowering his pants and bend forward over a tree stump so that his buttocks were propped up and allowed for easily anal sex. The slave master or someone he instructed to carry out the inhumane, sadistic act. Apparently, even family members would then proceed to flog the slave amongst to state. I'm sorry, I can't read. To the state of unconsciousness. Oh man, almost. Okay, let me read that again. Essentially, the male slave would be focused to lower his pants and to bend over a tree slump so that his buttocks were propped up and allowed for easy anal sex. The slave master or someone he instructed to carry out the inhumane, sadistic act, apparently even family members would then proceed to flog the slave almost to the state of unconsciousness. The slave circumstances would then turn for the worse as the slave master would act on his homosexual urges and proceed to R-word the slave in front of his wife, kids, community. Even more humiliating, the slave master would invite other white homosexual males to participate in the sodomizing act. Therefore, the humiliated slave would be cored by the slave master to wear the trousers without belt so they sag, which serve as like branded cattle. The slave had been aptly broken, and needless to add, it was ultimately emasculated to the African male slave for being defiant towards his white slave master. So, Tyler Perry, T.D. Jakes, they took it out the slave master book so they could be emasculated. It worked back in the slavery days to put on a dress, right? And to perform homosexual acts. Damn. All things considered, buck breaking was ungodly, even disciplinary tool employed to strike fear into the hearts of African male slaves. Buck breaking, right? The slave masters were gay, so they will have sex with these men in order to prove a point. This is why they put these men in a dress. They put these men in a dress in order to prove a point. See, the slave master, they called the even though they was the ones that was having sex with the men who they was R-wording in, you know, you know what R word mean, that sexually took an advantage of, I can say, were the ones that was being called gay. So just because you getting bent over, right? You were submissive. That's how the term doggy style was. See, and that's another thing. When you have sex with your partner, I'm trying to keep it PG as possible. The term doggy style is offensive because that was a part of buck breaking. Doggy style is a part of buck breaking. It's when the slave masters would used to do to the men. And this is how buck breaking is modernized. It's updated. Buck breaking. It's not the same buck breaking. You can't do the same buck breaking that you was doing back in the day. Buck breaking is modernized. And these men behind the scenes is the practice of buck breaking is still the same. All things considered, buck breaking was ungodly, evil, disciplinary tool employed to strike fear into the hearts of African male slaves, their families, peers, and the community alike, in that they were never challenged their slave masters on any level. Regrettably, African male slaves who endured the horrific brutality and humiliation would sometimes commit suicide. I can't say that word. To commit the S word, to unalive themselves. Let me say it like that. Okay. Horrific brutality and humiliation would sometimes commit to unalive themselves or abandon their families altogether. And that's what it is. The industry is the same way. The men unalive themselves. And they were so ashamed that they ran off. And this is how they use homosexuality against in the black community. They want you to be ashamed of it, right? It's to men do not want to to come out because these sexual predators in the industry who are men, who's touching men, will be humiliated the same way. So these sexual predators, right, put the same slave mentality. They use the same thing with buck breaking. This is how they buck break in the industry. And this is why so many men are afraid to come out. Buck breaking. TD Jakes is buck breaking. PDiddy buck breaking. I encourage y'all to look up buck breaking. And this is how these industry men get away with sexual assault on young boys. This is how the priests get away with sexual assault on young boys. Buck breaking. We're going to conclude this live. I appreciate everybody for joining. Hit that like, hit that share button, hit those notifications. Stay tuned to the next video. Let me see if we can scrape anything else up before I leave. We done already caught Dave Chappelle in the lie. You can't trust nobody in the industry. Dang. Katt Williams telling the truth out here. I mean, a lot of polls. Hold on. This is the prime definition of buck breaking right here. Buck breaking. They embarrass you. You laughing at him. Like they was laughing at the dude that's getting broke in. And these is all comedian movies. Like, why ain't a serious movie being played by a black man? Why gotta be a funny movie? Like, all of these movies are comedian movies. Tyler Perry, comedian movies. All of this stuff is comedic. Everything is funny when it comes to a black man being butt broke in. All of this is buck broke in. And it's messed up that TD Jakes and P Diddy is using the buck breaking system that the white slave owners have used on us. They're using the same buck breaking system on us. Like, this is it's not. Jeez. I appreciate everybody for joining the live tonight. Oh, hit those notifications. Hit the notifications right now. Hit the notifications right now. For the next live video, the Mad Pill studio is being built. Stay tuned for Fleece Johnson and the truth. Mad Pill, thanks for joining tonight. We up out of here. Thanks, Sierra. Appreciate y'all. I'm out. And that's the truth. The truth of the matter of the fact. Mad Pill gonna always bring y'all the truth. I ain't gonna bite my tongue. Cause I'm real, and that's how my parents made me. Thank y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all. Peace.